of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
Don't realize, just like the Jews was Jesus' enemy, then Allah created Hitler from them. Hitler was a Jew.
That's right.
And made Hitler their enemy.
Right.
You know, and so nothing escapes Allah.
Nothing.
Nothing at all. You know, just like I said, our people endured slavery. I wonder what was our crimes. But because I know that Allah didn't make no mistakes.
Oh,
that
no.
It caused us to endure slavery for its cause, you know. And I just wish that our people would try to tune in and try to surrender to Allah before that they're taken down again, you know, because Allah has set us in a situation to surrender ourselves to it, because it has given us all these things around us that will not allow us to surrender ourselves to. See, Caucasian people only want you to surrender to them for the benefit of themselves, but they don't want you hanging around. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So their whole thing is, you know, we only want to use you for a purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But we don't want to have you around for a lifetime. You know, can't you tell? That's why we letting drugs come into your town. That's why we got you doing black on black crime. That's why AIDS is flowing like it is. We don't want you around for a lifetime. You know what I'm saying? So Allah is showing us so much. And see, I can't talk about what Allah is showing the Caucasian people. I only could talk about what Allah is showing my people.
Right.
It is showing us a way to it in this day and time.
Right.
You know, forget about the mathematics, science that all these people keep talking about. All those things is not as important as it is to recognize, to acknowledge, to seek to surrender completely unto the Lord Most High in this day and time. You know, so that you can know of the true peace. You know, because really man searched for peace from the beginning of life to the end. You know, that man goal, whether he realizes it or not, is to have that peace.
Even if it's mother, even if it's the peace of him being violent with somebody, even if it's in the matter of warfare, even through warfare, his object ultimately is peace. Even if his object is to take over the world. Well, ultimately, once he takes over the world, and he's the only one in control, as his imagination sets him to, he's going to be at peace. So even in something that doesn't look peaceful, the aim, like you said, Mother,
the aim is peace. Sometimes they don't realize that they seeking peace to find themselves in hell. But you know, so men do travel that path. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that Allah in this day and time have sent down this messenger to give the people a warning and to give them an opportunity to surrender. You know, but man is strange. Man rather surrender to man than to surrender to Allah. If Holy Apostle called mankind to him, we have a flock of people trying to be a part of us. But because Holy Apostle is not trying to call them to no illusion, no pie in the sky like Reverend Ike, no money-making venture, no hate crime, none of that, just calling them to the Supreme Lord, their creator, their God, their protector, their salvation, and people can't hear that, you know. And I know what we're saying on this show is not difficult for people to understand. It's so simple. You know, it's so simple. The only thing is we're saying that A.H.A.D has given the message of this day and time the way for you.
I'm gonna show you how you look when you show people, Mother, how this message is not difficult. I work in Elizabeth, for example, and many people I work with, or that in the hospital I work in, many of them are Hispanic. they recognize the truth in the show. So I know the message is touching everybody. They understand the message because they know that it just have been done to them, but they know to hear the message. They say, I catch your show. Oh, I seen you on the television. They might not speak a bit of English, but you on TV, right? Yeah, I'm on. So people are hearing this message. So the message is not about being racist. People try to so-called say we have a racist overtone. No, not a racist overtone. It's a truth overtone.
Right.
And with the overtone, it's just what happened that the people that we speak about are doing these things of oppression, then let the chips fall where they may. But our people want the chips to fall on other than those people that we're talking about. Right. And the other people are us as well. You don't get all these last names, Jeffersons, Washington out of nowhere. They came from some slave man that, like you said, dipped into down to the slave quarters and did his thing, but won't take responsibility.
Interesting, we're talking about turning the other cheek and how our people want to love their oppressors so much, historically want to love their oppressors so much, but love to hate themselves. You know, it's such a fetish. You know, the self-hatred thing comes so readily and so easy. Yeah, yeah, hate you for telling the truth, mother.
They'd be like,
hate you for bringing it to them. Yeah,
but hate you, they really will. But I'm telling you, we dress Holy Apostle up, made him look like a mummy, or put on him some disguise, and decked him up, and set him on Broad Market, and told people they could get blessings if they just throw dollars in. And man, Holy Apostle be set. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You know, you people, you go downtown. What was it? Reverend Knight, send this. I sent a prayer. You know, you send a prayer. And they made him filthy rich. Like
making money.
They didn't have the power nor the capability to pray for themselves. My prayer for you cannot be as strong as your prayer for yourself.
That's
You know what I'm saying?
Certainly
people, and we just follow suit. Pray for me. Pray for yourself. Because your Lord will hear your prayers. I'm praying for you. I got to pray for my own soul. I ain't got time for you. We cool. But I got to save my own soul. Let's get real now.
Yeah.
Let's get away from this foolishness.
Right.
The Lord haven't X'd you out. The Lord is always present with you. You turn your back on the Lord. The Lord's staying right there. The Lord is there all the time. If it wasn't, you wouldn't even exist. So the Lord is right there. So why we need to, that's just like me telling you something I need you to tell him. By the time you tell it to him, it's going to be mixed up. You go tell him yourself.
Go with the main line, straight.
And then
straight to the point.
You ain't got to tell the Lord nothing. The Lord is all-knowing. See, the people be like, ask the Lord to bless me with this. If the Lord wanted you to have it, you have it. You ain't got to ask. See, the Lord only going to give you that which he wants you to have anyway. You know, the thing is, we go about prayer the wrong way. You know, oh, I'm going to pray for a dog. I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray that you may need to be sick. You may need to have the flu. You may need these things so that you could purify yourself. Because a sick man call on his Lord, a sick woman call on his Lord. You remember your Lord much when you laying up there sick.
That's right.
You sure don't be saying, oh, Billy John Bob Sue, come see about getting this garbage out of my system. You may call on that doctor. But once that doctor leave that room and he ain't helped you, you be like, Lord. So you know what I'm saying? So don't think because you laid up that's a bad thing. Sometimes you need to be laid up. You need to be stopped in your tracks so that you can reflect on who is the giver of your life, who's the sustainer of your life. You know, you can't move a finger unless the Lord calls you to move it.
We're talking about physical sickness in this sense. What about the persistent mental sickness? The mental sickness of loving thine oppressor. The mental sickness of pretending like you're loving the oppressor so much when you can so easily hate yourself and your own kind of people that look like you. You know, if you want to practice loving your enemy, you got plenty of enemies in your own community right there. One neighbor hates the other. They hate their neighbor's children alike.
And you know why they have that so much going on is because there's an aspect of yourself. If you sit back and get into yourself, they can't stand something about yourself, really hate something about yourself. You know, but you don't want to get too deep into that because you don't know how to deal with it. So you take that and you turn that on somebody else where if you was constantly working on yourself, you wouldn't even have time to hate somebody else. You know, you
Right.
really wouldn't.
Right.
You know, if you was rooting out all the illness that lies inside of you, all that negativity that
Right.
flows inside of you, you wouldn't even know, probably remember your neighbor's name.
Interesting, Mother. And that would take care of loving everybody. You know, that love, you know, whatever they think is love, because you're not bothering and you're not mindful of them, they'll think is love until somebody hits you across your cheek.
And just think about this here.
Then
If you love your enemy,
nature takes over.
there's something in your enemy that you love, that you see in your enemy that reflects you.
That's right.
You can only love that which reflects you, that you have something common in. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Something that you could relate to. You know, you wouldn't go up and just love the bum on the street unless you got to know the bum and you found some similarity
Right.
about that bum in
Right.
yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that enemy exists in you. You know, something about that connects you together. I can't kind of explain it the way I want to, but there's a connection there, you know?
Right.
You ever known that you like somebody and you know they ain't got too many good bones in their body?
Yeah, I don't know
But
why.
it's something about that person that you like, and you say,
Yeah,
I don't know why.
Or
Well,
I don't
they
know
got
what
too many
so-and-so
good bones
sees
in their
this other
body,
person,
then you
right?
have to look
Yeah.
at them bad bones.
Right.
You know?
Most of the time, that people like that, when
Yeah.
they got a person of that nature, they either they want to be bad like that person. It's something that they drawn to in them. They say,
Yeah.
I
It's
reflect that in
something.
myself.
It's
I
something,
want to
yeah.
be that, really, you know.
But I'm too scared.
But I'm too scared to be that.
Right.
But you hang around it, like we always say, association manifests assimilation. You become like those you be around, you may start pick up them bad habits that person have.
Yep.
You know?
And let me just show you that how true that is. Now, you can have someone, a black person working with you at the job, and they favored by the Caucasian supervisor. And you and this person may be cool, you know, while they're on your level.
Right.
But as soon as they go up the next level, whoo,
You talking about like a
they
job
after you.
promotion or something,
You know,
yeah.
they don't forgot your relationship prior to them moving up. You
They go
know,
with the mindset, this
Man,
business
makes
never
no-
personal.
Right.
It ain't
So-
personal now. Yes, it is.
believe you me, whatever was going on with them that caused them to click with that Caucasian supervisor, that's because it was in them. And they was just waiting for their opportunity so they
Right.
could become of that person and give you the same ill treatment. You know, it don't matter what light you see me in, I'm still the same.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I see you in another light, you different, and I'm looking at you. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know you. You know.
Definitely.
So, you know, you have to be careful with them enemy thing, man, because some people really love their enemies. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Some people pray and wish they could be just like their
like
enemies.
them, huh?
You
Yeah,
know?
maybe he'll stop beating on me and let me help him beat on some of them others. You know,
Well,
I really
well,
hate,
that's
you
what
know,
happened with
real-
the house niggas.
Yeah.
You know, the house
Yeah.
niggas start, you know, ordering the field niggas around.
Like, wait a minute. You're both still slaves.
Right.
That's the funny thing about it. Both of y'all are still
the
slaves,
overseer,
but
the
you dress a
overseer,
little
yeah.
bit better than
Yeah.
I'm in the field. But don't make you better because he still look at you as a
But
slave.
oftentimes he's rewarded when he's put in that position. He's rewarded. The house nigga or the field Negro who's out there overseeing the workers or whatever, he gets an extra reward for getting harder on them.
Was it extra biscuit?
And whether it's an extra
Some more of that
biscuit
fat back up
or
there.
extra
Or that
pillow
thing.
or yeah, an extra fat back like you said or
He never.
whatever it is,
Holy
you know.
Queen Mother
But
said
there's a
something,
reward
though.
system in this place.
Right.
He's getting favoritism.
Holy Queen Mother did say something that, you know, people of religion take heart to. When we were enslaved and they taught us through the Bible, they never gave us what you said, the understanding. That's where the problem comes in when you say the people wearing the crosses now.
Right.
They wear it because it's a symbol that they think the Lord was killed on, Jesus was killed on, and then we look to that as a shining badge now. But if they had understanding,
The badge
and
of
what I
suffering.
either send down now with this message today is the
badge.
understanding. You know, to understand that who and what your enemy is from yourself first, then it goes out. People always do the opposite way. They want to go out and then come in. No, you got to go in. The enemy of yourself is in here. All them individuals within your being that make up you are your enemies. But people, like you said, will never look within because they said it's easy to turn that on and hate on to somebody else. And Caucasians, many times, they hate themselves. So they turn it on other people the darker-skinned people of the world because they want to kill that which they see because we are a product of them, like you said. We're a product of that whole slave thing that went on. And they will not take responsibility. And when you bring it to them, you always hear them say, well, that wasn't I wasn't your slave master, but your foreparents, but you still generations of that. Now, if you want to change what took place, then go about being truly liberating, making everything fair and just in the society. Then you can say now, you are equal to me. Till you say that, then you can always have the continuation, the situation that's going on now. The unfair treatment of our people, and then we turn into unfair treatment of ourselves now. We do ourselves a great disservice.
Trying to advance and become like the oppressor.
Exactly. Now we turn on ourselves and like the crab in the barrel. You know,
they've had enough psychology classes, and they get enough so-called psychology shows that Dr. Phil's and the other so-called mind readers, people that tell them how the mind works, how in fact that they are people that are privileged, because and they know many times they know education that they don't have certain rights to having more material privilege than another group of people because they know this other particular person may be more talented than me, or maybe more have more wares, intellects, or whatever it is that makes them a better worker than me. You know, so they know that they're getting a benefit that they don't necessarily deserve over another person. So they're aware that racism is institutionalized, and they're aware of their benefits. You know, now it's not to say that they're supposed to just turn around and give it up because, like you said, they take their rewards. You can't get mad for taking their benefits, but don't disavow the other person, the Afro-American or the other oppressed people in the nation, talking about how you've kept me down. And you're going to talk about it doesn't exist. It's not for real. You know, like although like you said, although when the Holocaust time comes, they'll keep perpetuating that because these particular people they give them favor, and they want to keep them in a place of favor, and they want to keep you down. If you talk about the African slavery or the history of slavery and the like, it's like cut it off. You talked. We've heard that story before.
I know. I saw a Muslim magazine, Muslim newspaper, and I was irate because on the front page they had an article about the Holocaust, and I became irate. I mean, really irate. I mean, I just was like, how a Muslim, African-American Muslim newspaper have this big old article about the Holocaust, you know, but we just like slavery just didn't come about because Caucasian people went across the water and went into Africa and said, okay, come on, niggas, I'm taking you over across the water to be slaves. No, we were sold into slavery. And our people, the people that they elect to be our leaders, try to sell us as slavery still today. You have these spiritual leaders, so-called spiritual, because they ain't about spiritual, they about money, economics. You read their newspaper, all they talking about, they glorifying other. You never see on the cover of their newspaper, glory be to Allah. It's always glorifying individuals, glorifying economic growth, glorifying education, all this glorification. Selling our people back into that mindset of being slaves. Instead of being of the righteous, they selling us into slavery. You know, and those kind of things just does something to me. That's why I said just because someone is the same color I am, don't mean he has my best interest at heart.
That's true.
9 times out of 10, he don't. You know,
that is true.
My whole thing is we sat on the Christian Council Fellowship, Council, and I made a statement about Farrakhan. My kids said Farrakhan got his name from Pharaoh. And I know the brother got bad health and everything, but you know, like I said back then, he needed to let the people go. My whole thing is, why put yourself in a situation you're going to be held accountable for when you leave this earth with A.H.A.D, when you go back to the throne? You know, now he's trying to turn, he got the rabbis, the priests, and everybody coming to their last Savior Day, which is in a couple of days from here or so.
This weekend,
You know, and he's trying to make it seem like, I guess this rainbow thing, like Jesse Jackson, I don't know what he's trying to do, but he knew that he wasn't giving them proper guidance, but it's all about power, politics, money, you know, status. It's not about the interests of the people. And then when you have a deep interest and love and concern for your people just try to kick you in the teeth and want to stomp you down because they so accustomed to that ill treatment that they can't see good when it's standing right in their face, you know? So it's like a war. You know, we're warring out here trying to give those who would lend an ear the truth. We got a war against the slave master, the wannabe slave master, the charlatans, and everybody out here. We're warring against everybody to try to get A.H.A.D words to the ones that want to hear it, the ones that really want to surrender to it, the one that realize that this is Armageddon. This is the last days and time that Allah caused John to speak about in Revelation. You know, and it's a war that could be so tiring, you know, but we don't give up unless A.H.A.D cause us to give up. So we still in the fight, you know, we're still trying to call our people to the Lord Most High and make them recognize that there is none worthy to be worshipped, to be praised, to be adored, to be loved, other than it and it alone, the Lord Most High, A.H.A.D Allah. And hopefully our program, you know, that this program is benefiting those who seek to surrender to the Lord Most High. Hopefully we're reaching, because I don't care what all these people are saying about us of negativity, because I'm not trying to reach you, forget you. You are the least of my damn concerns. You know, that's just it. I care less. You know, you're the fools that you're going to be calling us from hell talking about, oh, I wish I had listened. Oh, send me back again so I could do my evil again. So, you know, I don't have no concerns with them. But for the people that is tuning into this program, that's trying to look deep into what we're saying, because and my whole thing is I care less. Allah is going to deal with those. I'm not worrying about anybody coming against us, tearing us down. We've been out here for a long time, and A.H.A.D keep us going because it is its will. This is its day, and it is its thing. And much, you know?
And much of the stuff that we talk about on this program is, for those who don't know, the Lord Most High have given us so much teaching. What we deal on this program most of the time is mostly surface stuff, because there's so much more to this iceberg that you don't see. Because once you come into this covenant, this agreement, then the Lord can educate and liberate your life in so many other ways, man, to make you a better individual in service to it. We're just calling you to the ill that you recognize every day, of the common that you go out of your everyday dealing with. And our people, again, will turn that face to the other side and say, look here, man, you look like me and I don't like what you saying. But brother or sister, this is the truth. Recognize what it is. You hear it every day, but you tune the deaf and look to those who constantly keep you enslaved, looking back to them as for answers.
That person was just on the very surface too. If he's just going to reject the word just because of what we look like, then he's just on the surface. What about those? There are those that can even hear. You know, like I said, those that can hear. And if there's something that it sounds too real for me. This is too true. I can't handle it. You know, another day. You know, openly will embrace that devil within. You know?
And like Brother Minister Idris was just saying, we chiseling away at a rock. But, you know, if you like what you hear, and Brother Idris would give you our email address and other ways to correspond, A.H.A.D Allah has blessed us to gain so much insight and awareness that we don't really have time on this show to get into these things. You know, Holy Apostle really wanted to get into a teaching aspect. But I mean, there's just so many issues that come up that we try to get you to open your eyes to, because what I realized by being out here and interacting with people, especially our young people, they don't know much about religion. You know, they're really empty of religion because grandmothers gave up, which is kind of good. Gave up with taking them to the church to receive that falsehood. And I'm not saying that everything in Christianity is false, but they give you the falsehood because they don't understand the truth in it, because they threw everything up in the air, and it became all confusing even to the ministers. So they have a school where you can learn how to teach this falsehood. But A.H.A.D, through Holy Apostle Dean, has given us so much, and sometimes A.H.A.D has came directly to us and manifested itself in certain ways, so that we are aware that it does exist with each individual as well. And it is so much that we would like to teach, because see, once you are taught, you're free. You know, and you have, you know, in your travels, you know, and you can receive so much blessings that to give off to someone else, because see, A.H.A.D has given me a abundance, but it's not for me to store up for myself. For what? It is for me to give it to whoever is willing to take hold of it, you know, and utilize it for the good, not for the evil. Because that which A.H.A.D has given us, if A.H.A.D didn't protect us and didn't put fear in us, didn't put love in us, and if A.H.A.D didn't cause us to trust it, we would take this and turn it to evil, and we would be decked in gold, and we would be drinking from the scarlet cup stained in blood, you know. So we're being protected by the Lord Most High to do His service in this life. So hopefully, you know, I know that there's people out here that is really interested in this program. We've been running into a lot of people. We've been getting positive feedback, and I thank A.H.A.D much for Cablevision to allow us to communicate this, because before we were just out there, you know, trying to cover the bases out there, trying to just, you know, pull people in and give them this information. So now we could do it on a larger scale, you know, and like I said, we're not looking for you to come and support us. We're looking to support you. You know, like President Kennedy said, don't ask what your country can do for you. Well, I'm telling you, we're not looking for what you could do for us, but we're looking to service you as A.H.A.D service us.
All right, this has been an A.H.A.D moment. If you want to reach us, you can reach us at A.H.A.D Incorporated, Post Office Box 8795, Milton, New Jersey 07103. That's A.H.A.D Incorporated, Post Office Box 8795, Milton, New Jersey 07103. Or you can reach us on our email address, which is an A.H.A.D moment. That's one word, an A.H.A.D moment at yahoo.com. That's an A.H.A.D moment at yahoo.com. This has been an A.H.A.D moment. Sister Holy Mother,
of you who want to do things right, to keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you